live. I think we're live. And welcome to another Simply Diagnostics video. Another bright and sunny day here in Cheshire. It's not bright, it's not sunny, it's currently 1 degree. Wednesday the 22nd of December, and it's absolutely Baltic. So yeah, it's a long time since I've done a live video. So bear with me if I'm a little bit rusty. Currently I've had 3 months off. I'm just back at work now, just getting back on my feet. So I'm down here at the SimplyDiag Community Hub. Hey up, Kev, how are you? Yeah, I'm down at the SimplyDiag Network Community Hub, and we've got in today. Hey Tamer, hey Bald, how are you, mate? We've got here today. Let's just pull you up a little bit. We've got a 2011, hi Alan, 2011 Citroen C4 Picasso. It got brought down to me yesterday with the cooling fans. Customer complaint is cooling fans continually running, and when the customer dropped it off, all of a sudden it started smoking. We've got electrical smoke from under the bonnet. Hey up Luke, it's freezing. Hey up Gaines. Yeah, it actually let the smoke out while it was parked up. Very scary moment. Martin, good afternoon, how are you? Mike, good afternoon. Yeah, so we very quickly pulled the wipers off and the scuttle panel off and all that. Yeah, there's no magic about that smoke. Well, no, actually, Simon, you're right. Hey, mate, it was magic because it's never smoked since. But we pulled the scuttle off, the wipers off and all that, and had a look, couldn't see where the smoke was coming from, and it's not been back since. But it was definitely smoking. So needless to say, it got left outside last night. Hey up Dan, how are you? I'm sure you're next door to me. Yeah, I've got some as well, mate. Lucas. The only problem is it's positive earth. Can't get any negative earth smoke these days. So this is the car in question. I'll show you. I'll flick the camera around. So this is the car in question, 2011 Citroen C4, and we actually had smoke coming out from that area there. So we quickly whip the. I'll take you round to the front so you can see. We've had the scuttle panel off, the scuttle and the wipers and all that, and the smoke was coming from this area here. But we can't see any evidence of the wires melting or anything like that. But what we have got, we've got a very significant oil leak and a coolant leak on the vehicle. You can see it's currently, I've got it connected up to battery support. And we're just gonna run through a couple of things and actually show you. I've got a login for DDTSB, the Diagnose Dan system based on auto frontal. I've got a login of that courtesy from Dan, so I just thought I'd show you quickly how much value it is as an initial first step when we're looking at one of these vehicles. So something for any of you that haven't seen the community hub. This is what it is. This is the business end of it. So we've got up there, you can see we've got 4 1200 lumen 5k anti-flicker, no flicker LED lights. So we've got plenty of good lighting for filming now. We've got all our partners banners up all around the workshop. So Diagnostic Connections, DPF Doctor and JLM, Opus, Picoscope, Garage Vitals, another Picoscope banner. We've got our big banner up there. Heller, Garage Inspector, Varta Batteries, Nova Barn. I'll just run through this quickly for those of you that have never seen one of my videos before. Warwick Test Supplies, Auto Tuner, Nova Barn again. Andy Mechanic, you notice we've still got your calendar up, mate, and it's still on June. The lovely Holly. Garage Vitals, HR Vitals, JLM, Hella, and then the beautiful frieze from Varta. Absolutely awesome. And then we've got our banner up there also as well. So yeah, so we're looking at this vehicle now. Back to work. We're looking at this vehicle now, so you can see there I've got DDTSB, so it's based on the auto frontal platform, and I've put the registration number into the vehicle, and using the icon from Autocom, I'm just zooming a little bit. I've already done a global scan. You can see there it's a 5FV engine type. And we've got P023B, disengageable coolant pump control. That's like the system on the Mini, with the water pump that disengages and re-engages. So it's not running on cold start to enable warmer, quicker warm-up time, less strain on the engine and all that. We've got P0598 for the controlled thermostat, and we've got P0947 oil pressure regulation solenoid valve. Okay. One of the first things we want to do, because as you'll know, working on the Peugeot Citroen systems, these things go into economy mode. So the first thing I want to do is actually go into the body module and deactivate economy mode, so that we can actually talk to the engine and stuff like that. So very, very quickly, I'm going to go across onto multifunction, which is there. So I'll click on multifunction. And then I go over to the spanners over here, click on that, and then you can see there the very top line, deactivation of economy mode. That one there that's highlighted in green, so I'm going to click on that, and then go spanners at the bottom right hand corner, click on that. It'll connect to the VCI on the car. Like I say, we're using the icon from Autocom, supplied by Diagnostic Connections. Unknown diagnostic ID, we don't need to worry about that. And then we're going to go into choose the test I want to perform, and the very first one there, deactivation of economy mode, and then go over to the right hand side and click play. Engine off, ignition on, click that. That's it, functions complete. So now the vehicle won't go into economy mode for 30 minutes. We can come back out of there. Back out of there. We can go into engine now. 5FV. And connect direct to the engine computer. You see there we've got all those fault codes, plus we've got a few more, because I've actually got the cooling fan control module disconnected. So these that are down here, I've got the cooling fan assembly disconnected at the moment for the purposes of the video, to stop the fans running on high speed. So that was the symptom. And then what we want to do is making note of those 3 fault codes. I just want to go quickly into DDTSB and see if there are any bulletins. So if I just grab one of the fault codes, so let's type in no, Luke, the screen's perfect, mate. The screen's perfect. It's either your settings or your internet, mate. Yeah, the screen's perfect. I've got ultra high speed broadband here, so there's no problem with my connection at this end. So what I'm going to do now on my fault code there, I'm going to just type in P0947 and click enter, and you see straight away there's a bulletin for that. Oil spills from the back part of the engine, possibly in combination with mill turned on. We'll open that up. You can see them. You can see we've got PO947, which is a code we've got. PO597, well, we've got a 598, so that'll be something to do with the thermostat. And we've got a PO23B, which is also in the bulletin. And it tells us that the problem may be caused by a leaky oil pressure control valve wire, which may result in oil entering the wiring loom and the brown 53-pin connector of the engine control unit. So bear that in mind, brown 53-pin connector, okay? Then it actually shows us then, if we scroll down, it gives us a number for the repair kit. It gives us a bit of information on the fault and a picture of the parts that might be needed for that. Okay, so that's the bulletin. But now if we go back to that where it says the brown 53 pin, so let's have a look at a wiring diagram. So if I go over onto my wiring diagrams, so this is basically, this is the wiring diagram for that engine ECU. Now, if I just zoom out a little bit, if I can. So brown 53 pin connector. You can see there you can see the connection. You can see there that's the brown connector there. All the ones that are coloured brown. And what have we got there? What components have we got there? We've got throttle valve, map sensor, knock sensor, crankshaft sensor. Nothing about that. But what we've also got here, what was that last comment there? All right, there you go. Cheers, Luke. Thanks a lot. What we've also got. Let's get it off the stand now. If we go into the fuse box, what they did tell me was that fuse there that's missing, fuse number 7, keeps blowing. Okay, so fuse number 7 keeps blowing a 10 amp fuse. If we go back to our wiring diagram, there's fuse number 7, and it comes down and it feeds the ECU. Okay, so there's no direct correlation with fuse number 7 and any of the components, apart from it goes into the ECU. So we'll put that back on there. Let's select one of the components. Alright, let's select. So we'll get so we've got oil pressure regulation. Let's find that. There we go. So oil pressure control valve. That's here. Okay. So there's your oil pressure control valve. You can see it shares a ground with the thermostat, which we've got a fault code for. The water pump drive actuator, which we've got a fault code for. And then also, if I just scroll down a little bit, it also comes in the heater resistor. Right. So if we scroll all the way down and click across, you can see here's the ground. Right. That's the ground there. Well, a lot of people say, no, it's got a shared ground, it's shared ground. It's not. This is the hot side. Yeah? So it actually shares a power feed. Yeah? This is a power feed. By looking at the wiring diagram, we can see this is a feed, so it's actually a feed. feed coming in out of pin 41, brown 53 pin connector. So going back to it, so there's a power coming out there, goes to the thermostat, goes to the water pump actuator, goes to the oil pressure control valve, and to the crankcase heater, crankcase PCB heater. So already, so we've got fault codes for 3 of those components. We've got a blown fuse. Yeah. So hey up, Carl. How are you, mate? So by looking at the wiring diagram properly and understanding what we're looking at, we could have thought, oh, that's just a shared ground because it's coming out of the ECU. It's not. This is a power supply. Yeah. And we've got fault codes for this component, that component, and that component there. And we've got fuse 7 missing, so we can with pretty positively say that fuse 7 is actually the power feed that goes into the ECU that feeds these components. So what we've got to do now, all we've got to do is eliminate which of these components is actually shorted to ground, and that'll give us our blown fuse. Yeah. So we've got 2 areas to look at. The first area we've got to look at is the bulletin from DDTSB, and if you remember, that says the brown 53 pin connector can get contaminated with oil. Yeah, from the oil pressure control valve. So this car is absolutely, it's bleeding coolant and it's bleeding oil. The underneath of it is covered. So what we need to do now, we need to take that brown 53 pin connector out and actually have a look and see whether the TSB is relevant, whether the engine ECU is full of oil, or whether one of those other 3 components is actually the thing that's shorted to ground and causing that fuse to blow. Yeah, are you following me? Hey up, Rob, how are you, mate? All tangled up in my wires. So if we just turn that camera, we use our whiteboard now. So where's our whiteboard? So the first thing what we've got is the TSB, the oil contamination. Yeah. 2, we've got DTCs for 3 components. 3, we've got a blowing, missing supply to these 3 components. So that gives us now what we need to look at is 1, have we got contamination? 2, have we got a shorted component? 3, have we got a shorted loom? Or 4, have we got an ECU short? Is it the actual ECU that's the problem? Yeah, so you can see quite quickly now we're able to build a picture up and start to get, hey up Anthony, you know, we quite quickly, just 10 minutes in, we're actually starting to build a picture up of possible candidates for where we need to look, rather than just blindly looking around the car and testing for the sake of testing's sake. So we will let you know where we go further from that. But like I say, just a quick short video. This is my first real live video since come back, so apologies if it's a bit rusty, but this is what I'm working on this morning. I'll just give you a little brief insight into what I'm actually doing, what we're doing, and just touching base for you really. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll see you later for the follow-up, hopefully. Thanks for watching. You're awesome.